All right. Let's see here. And true to form, I missed this. Let's pull this back. All right. It's your DJ Willie D. I am back with a few hot takes and a few cold, hard truths. So, Reddit is delivering as always. And I figured I want to talk about a few things. So let's go. Let's get right into it. First, password to protect all your vendors. I'm a fan. I like it. I love it. Let's see. So this story looks like reading for the blind. I'm not one for reading for the blind, but the mother-in-law has changed the entire catering menu. A few reasons I'm a fan of this, especially for your caterer, your DJ, your planner. There are certain things that only the couple can properly disseminate to these vendors. Um, the couple's vision is specific to the way that they explain it. Um, and I don't like even the thought of someone getting in the way of that. It's incredibly important to me as a DJ that I understand the couple's vision, um, that I understand what's important to them throughout the day so that I can coordinate my timeline according to their vision. And there's really no two ways about this. If your vendor doesn't understand that vision, they can't execute on it. And if someone gets in the way, and maybe confuses that vision, we're kind of at a loss. And I tell all of my clients, I tell other vendors that I associate with that with rare exception, I prefer not to deal with anybody other than the couple for this reason exactly. So yeah, password protecting all your vendors. I'm a fan. I love it. I'm behind it. Let's see. Here's a good one. All right. Looks like you proved everybody on Reddit wrong. So I love seeing things like this. I'm a fan of being non traditional. I call it being uniquely non traditional. If you're doing something outside the box, who cares? It's your day. You get once to do it the way you want it done. And I'm here for it. Um, Tacos in a local park, no flowers. Um, Almost everything we did or did not do was non traditional. Sounds like she had brought a lot of these things to Reddit, and everybody told her that it was going to be a bad day. It was a bad idea. Everything's a bad idea. But newsflash: if it's what you want, it's not a bad idea. We can coordinate. We can make it happen. We can move around. We can do whatever you think up within reason. But it's our job as vendors to make it happen. And I'm super glad that you stuck to your guns and did what you wanted, had the dress that you wanted, had the food that you wanted, had it in the space that you wanted. Um, Nothing's impossible. So, yeah, um, like she says, don't let negative comments sway you from your vision. You know you, your fiance, your families, and your friends better than anyone here. If it feels right to you, it probably is. Kudos. And if it hasn't been done before or is unusual, you got this. I'm a fan. I love everything she's saying here. Facts. Let's see. Next on the list. All right. Taking a long one and making it short. I'm going to kind of give you the cliff notes on this because this one might bring me a little backlash, but I'm here for it. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. I just did that. Ah, there you are. All right. And like I said, cliff notes. Bride and her fiance have a very specific playlist for every moment of their day. And I'm not against that, not at all. However, we need to be realistic. Um, Prelude music, ceremony music, cocktail hour music, dinner music, um, with very little deviation. I don't mind that, not at all. Um, these are the moments that are kind of um, other than the spotlight dances and the procession for the ceremony. The music is almost secondary. And I just noted this light is way off here. Not too late to fix it now. Let's just run with it. But other than those key moments, music is really secondary to everything else. Um, Cocktail, people are just vibing. As long as there's decent music playing, kind of prepping everybody for the party that's to ensue. Everything's good. Dinner, same thing. Um, Pick every song you want. We'll play it in the order that you want. All the things. However, what I'm going to tend to disagree with is um, seems like that this couple is having a hard time finding a DJ that's going to only play their playlist. Um, my experience in 15 plus years of doing this is um, I can count twice that this has worked. Um, One couple, it was a smaller wedding, maybe I think 60 ish guests. They knew their crowd. They had only their closest um, friends and family there. They knew the vibe they wanted. And the guests that they invited were tied or were tuned in to that vibe. So that playlist that they came up with worked beautifully. Now I worked the position of the songs, where we're gonna move. I had um creative license to do at least that much. Work the transitions, um, blended where it was necessary. Um, Super low key. They didn't want a lot of MC work. So in that environment, it worked well. One second here. But I would say that that is um, not the norm, far outside the norm, in fact. Um, but if you're going to give a DJ a playlist, especially for the dance portion of the evening, um, you need to be um, aware that there is only a limited amount of songs that we can play in that time. 25, 30 songs ish is going to be the limit. And if you give us 30 songs and you want to hear every single one of them and take requests from your core group, um, and the DJ offer suggestion for, you know, a handful of songs that work in the moment, reading the dance floor, reading the room, and finding out where your crowd is. Um, you can't do both. And as long as, and this is where I want to go with this, our job as DJs, um, along with all of the other things, the biggest job, in my opinion, is advocating for our clients' vision and being being able to communicate that if this is important to you, if you want A, as long as you are okay with B or C being the likely outcomes, I'm good. Hey, I've done my job. I made you aware of where this might go. And if it works, it works. But having an understanding with our clients that, hey, if this goes off the rails, if this takes a turn that um you're not okay with, if you want to keep things active, keep the dance floor moving, keep your crowd interactive, um maybe giving that DJ or MC or combo or separately the creative license to help facilitate bringing your vision back on track. um, those items should be discussed prior to your event. Um, but I would be very, very careful when telling or choosing a DJ that is going to take your playlist only, and provide the experience that you expect. Realizing while I'm saying this that a DJ's vision of success and a client's or a couple's vision of success are not mutually exclusive. What I might think is a successful event may not be what the client sees. And those things need to be communicated. I've had more than my fair share of events where the reception or dance party was just super casual, super laid back. They just wanted a vibe, not big dancers, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. However, a DJ in the moment might think, man, this is a failure. Nobody's dancing. You know, the dance floor is just not popping. Everybody's just kind of chilling out and vibing. I need to get people active. Not necessarily. As long as the client or the couple's vision is being executed and executed well, that's success. So, to the short portion of this that you're seeing, um, I'm not a fan, but it can work. And there are DJs that are perfect for this, right? Well, or this. There are DJs that can do this and do it well. Um, it's likely not going to be me. I'm going to pass on this. Um, and there's more to this that I could fit on the screen, but let's see. There we go. So, reading for the blind here. We've been debating with an iPad wedding. Let me start this over. It's hard for me not to laugh this, but I should be laughing because this is legit, and I support their reason behind it. We've been debating with an iPod wedding, and that way we get all the music we like, but we would be missing out on other things we also want, like professional MCs, seamless transitioning of songs, someone reading in the room. We honestly want a DJ. It just sucks that DJs we've met with seem to give off the vibe that we are being completely unreasonable. Now, it's not completely unreasonable. Um, I think there may be a disconnect, likely a disconnect in the communication of what you want um, to some of these DJs. And let's see I don't see where they're from. I'm going to assume that this couple is a Jersey area or Northeast couple. Because I will tell you, DJs up that way, they want no part of this. Generally speaking, not all, but generally speaking, this is not the vibe. But let's see, one more here. Now, keep in mind, when we've met with different DJs, we don't even say we want you to mainly stick to this playlist. We say something like, is it okay that we have more than 25 must-play songs? Now, if you tell me as a couple that you have 25 must-play songs for the dance portion, I'm going to say I have no room for anything else. 25 must-play songs is going to be your whole dance section of the reception. So I kind of get why they may have kind of seemed like that was a little overbearing or what's the words I'm looking for here? Not necessarily conducive to marrying the DJ's creative license and your playlist, because at that point you can't do both. You really just can't do both. Not well. And 25 must plays, think about it. 25 must play songs with an average 3 minutes ish per song. So that's an hour and a half. Well, hour 15 minutes anyway. You pause to do any formality, garter toss, bouquet toss, anything, faux send off, and you're at an hour and a half after dinner. So that's pretty much the whole dance section. And that's the end of the night, 25 songs. So I think there's a learning lesson, or a lesson to be learned here, rather. There's nothing wrong with having your must plays, but if you want a DJ to be able to do their thing, they have to have the room to do so. And I think properly communicating that vision along with what's important to you, what is most important, and where you want the DJ slash MC to ride that line, where you allow them to deviate, and at what point you want them to deviate. And that's one of my questions to my couples is, am I allowed to take this a different direction if this is happening or if this is not happening? Where's that line? And one big question I ask all my couples, two questions, in fact, on a scale of 1 to 10, where is your core group? 1 being, I wouldn't dance if Michael Jackson were doing a concert in front of me. 10 being, I'll dance in a parking lot all day long if I can. Where do they rank? So if they tell me they're an 8, got you. Second question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is the dance floor activity? 1, I don't care if nobody dances. I just want a vibe. 10, I want every person possible on this dance floor all night long. Where are we in there? Based on the answer to those two questions, we'll kind of dive into that conversation and figure out where that line is that I need to ride. And that helps me understand their vision and makes them engage in how we're developing this vision and how we're going to execute day of. But that's how I'm going to deal with it. And for those reasons and others, I am not a fan. Not a fan. Like I said, everything up to the dance floor, absolutely. Give me playlists all day long. I'll take them. I'll rock with them. But 100% must play for the dance portion. Not a fan. Most often, it just doesn't work. But that's all I got for today. And we will see you between now and then.